Every single morning, millions of people start their day with coffee, unaware that sitting quietly in their kitchen is something far more powerful than anything in a pharmacy. A simple golden spoon of extra virgin olive oil has the potential to trigger changes inside the human body that modern medicine is only beginning to fully understand. For thousands of years, Mediterranean cultures have used this liquid as a daily essential, almost like a secret form of nourishment passed through generations. Now, modern science is finally catching up and confirming what ancient civilizations already believed. This is not just a cooking ingredient, it behaves like a biological tool for human health. Recent large-scale clinical research has revealed something striking. People who consume high-quality extra virgin olive oil daily show significantly lower rates of heart-related problems, with some studies showing reductions in major cardiovascular events by nearly 30%. What makes this even more interesting is how quickly the body begins to respond. The changes do not take months or years. Measurable biological effects can begin within a single day of consistent intake. Within 1 week, the body can enter a state that supports long-term protection and improved function across multiple systems. However, there is an important detail most people overlook. The effectiveness of olive oil depends entirely on its quality. Many people unknowingly consume heavily processed versions that have lost nearly all of their beneficial compounds. If the oil is refined, heat-treated, or mixed with other oils, it becomes little more than fat without therapeutic value. Only cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil retains the active compounds responsible for its health effects. These compounds include monounsaturated fats and a wide range of plant-based antioxidants known as polyphenols. Together, they create a biological synergy that supports inflammation control, cardiovascular protection, and cellular health. Unlike supplements that isolate nutrients, olive oil delivers them in a natural combination that the human body absorbs efficiently. As we move into the 7-day transformation process, what you are about to hear is based on real scientific findings. Each day brings a new layer of change inside the body, beginning with inflammation control, moving through heart health, digestion, brain function, and ending with cellular protection and detox support. The progression is gradual but powerful, and each stage builds on the one before it. If you are new here, this channel is dedicated to explaining science-backed health discoveries in a simple and practical way. Our goal is to help you understand how everyday foods influence your long-term health. If this topic interests you, staying until the end will give you a complete picture of how a single dietary habit can shift your entire biological system. Now let us begin the first stage of this transformation, where the body starts responding almost immediately after consumption. Within just a few hours of your first intake of high-quality extra virgin olive oil, the body starts responding in ways that are measurable at a biological level. One of the earliest and most important changes is the reduction of internal inflammation. Inflammation is not something you always feel directly, but it is deeply connected to the development of long-term health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. What is surprising is how quickly olive oil begins influencing these hidden processes. Natural compounds found in olive oil interact with the body's inflammatory pathways almost immediately. These compounds help lower specific markers in the blood that are commonly associated with chronic stress and tissue irritation. Clinical research has shown that indicators such as C-reactive protein and other inflammatory signaling molecules can begin to decrease within hours of consumption. This early response suggests that the body recognizes and reacts to these bioactive nutrients very quickly. What makes this effect even more meaningful is that it is not limited to laboratory measurements alone. Many people begin noticing physical changes within the first day. Some report reduced stiffness in joints, lighter muscle tension, or a general feeling of physical ease. These improvements are linked to the reduction of inflammation in both blood circulation and soft tissues. A key reason behind this effect is the presence of specific antioxidant compounds that influence the body's inflammatory response without shutting it down completely. Instead of blocking natural processes like many synthetic drugs, olive oil helps regulate them, guiding the body toward balance. This is one reason it is often described as a food that behaves like a natural form of supportive medicine. Another important factor is that some of these compounds are capable of influencing the nervous system as well. Early research suggests that they may help reduce inflammation in brain pathways, which could also contribute to improved mental clarity and reduced mental fatigue during the initial stages of consumption. Unlike pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs that may come with side effects when used long-term, olive oil supports the body's systems while also protecting vital organs such as the stomach lining and kidneys. This makes it suitable for continuous use as part of a daily routine rather than a short-term intervention. As the first day continues, the body slowly adapts to this new internal environment. Inflammation begins to decline, cellular stress starts to ease, and biological systems move toward a more balanced state. These early changes create the foundation for deeper transformations that begin to unfold in the following days. By the end of day 1, the body is no longer reacting in its usual inflammatory pattern. Instead, it starts shifting into a calmer and more regulated state, preparing for the cardiovascular improvements that become more noticeable as the second day begins. As the second day begins, the changes inside the body start moving beyond inflammation control and into the cardiovascular system, where the effects become more structured and measurable. At this stage, olive oil begins influencing how fats are processed in the blood, especially cholesterol balance. Instead of focusing only on total cholesterol, the body starts shifting toward a healthier ratio between protective and harmful lipids, which is far more important for long-term heart health. One of the key improvements involves HDL cholesterol, often referred to as the good cholesterol. With regular intake of extra virgin olive oil, HDL levels begin to improve, while the harmful effects of oxidized LDL cholesterol are reduced. Oxidized LDL is particularly dangerous because it contributes to plaque formation inside arteries, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease over time. By reducing oxidation, olive oil helps protect blood vessels from early damage. At the same time, the inner lining of the blood vessels, known as the endothelium, starts functioning more efficiently. This thin layer plays a critical role in controlling blood flow, pressure, and overall vascular health. Research has shown that even within 48 hours, endothelial function can improve noticeably in individuals consuming olive oil daily. This improvement allows blood to flow more smoothly and reduces strain on the cardiovascular system. A major reason behind this benefit is the increased production of nitric oxide. This natural molecule helps blood vessels relax and expand, improving circulation throughout the body. When blood vessels are more flexible, the heart does not need to work as hard to maintain proper blood flow. Over time, this can contribute to lower blood pressure and improve cardiovascular efficiency. Scientific studies have also documented early reductions in arterial stiffness during the first 2 days of consistent olive oil consumption. Stiffer arteries are linked to higher cardiovascular risk, so even small improvements in elasticity are considered highly beneficial. These early changes may seem subtle, but they represent important shifts in how the cardiovascular system responds to daily stress. What is particularly important is that these benefits appear even without major dietary changes. Simply adding 1 tablespoon of high-quality extra virgin olive oil to a regular diet has been shown to produce measurable improvements in cardiovascular markers. This highlights how powerful a single nutrient-dense food can be when it interacts directly with the body's biological systems. By the end of the second day, the cardiovascular system is already beginning to operate more efficiently. Blood flow becomes smoother, vessel function improves, and early protective mechanisms start activating. This sets the stage for the next phase, where the digestive system begins to experience noticeable transformation and internal balance shifts more deeply. By the third day, the focus of change shifts noticeably toward the digestive system, where olive oil begins to create a deeper internal reset rather than just surface level support. At this stage, many people start noticing that their digestion feels lighter, more regular, and less uncomfortable compared to previous days. One of the earliest signs is improved bowel movement consistency, which comes from the natural lubricating effect of olive oil as it moves through the digestive tract. However, the real transformation is happening much deeper than simple digestion. Inside the gut, the balance of microorganisms begins to shift in a healthier direction. The human gut contains trillions of bacteria that influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. On day 3, beneficial bacteria such as bifidobacterium and lactobacillus begin to increase in activity, while less desirable bacterial strains start to decrease. This shift is extremely important because gut balance is directly connected to overall health stability. Extra virgin olive oil contains natural plant compounds that act as nourishment for good bacteria. These compounds function like prebiotics, meaning they feed and support beneficial microbial growth. As these bacteria thrive, they help improve digestion efficiency and reduce internal inflammation in the gut lining. This is why many people begin to feel reduced bloating and better stomach comfort during this stage. Another important development is improved bile activity. Olive oil stimulates bile production, which plays a key role in breaking down fats and supporting the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. As a result, the body becomes more efficient at extracting nutrients from food. Even if diet remains the same, nutrient absorption begins to improve, making meals more beneficial at a cellular level. By this point, the digestive system is no longer just processing food, it is becoming more balanced and optimized. The gut lining begins to calm down, especially in individuals who experience sensitivity or mild inflammation. This reduction in irritation can also have wider effects beyond digestion, including improved energy stability and immune response. Some research has also linked improved gut health from olive oil consumption to better mental and emotional balance. This is because the gut and brain are closely connected through what is often called the gut-brain axis. When gut inflammation decreases and bacterial balance improves, signals sent to the brain can also become more stable. Additionally, olive oil has been studied for its protective effects on the stomach lining. It may help reduce the impact of harmful bacteria associated with ulcers and support the healing environment of the digestive tract. Over time, this contributes to a more resilient digestive system that can handle food more efficiently and with less irritation. By the end of day 3, the digestive system is no longer in a reactive state. Instead, it begins functioning with improved balance, reduced inflammation, and better nutrient processing. This internal shift prepares the body for the next stage, where visible external changes begin to appear in the skin and overall physical appearance. By the 3rd day, the focus of change shifts noticeably toward the digestive system, where olive oil begins to create a deeper internal reset rather than just surface level support. At this stage, many people start noticing that their digestion feels lighter, more regular, and less uncomfortable compared to previous days. One of the earliest signs is improved bowel movement consistency, which comes from the natural lubricating effect of olive oil as it moves through the digestive tract. However, the real transformation is happening much deeper than simple digestion. Inside the gut, the balance of microorganisms begins to shift in a healthier direction. The human gut contains trillions of bacteria that influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. On day 3, beneficial bacteria such as bifidobacterium and lactobacillus begin to increase in activity, while less desirable bacterial strains start to decrease. This shift is extremely important because gut balance is directly connected to overall health stability. Extra virgin olive oil contains natural plant compounds that act as nourishment for good bacteria. These compounds function like prebiotics, meaning they feed and support beneficial microbial growth. As these bacteria thrive, they help improve digestion, efficiency, and reduce internal inflammation in the gut lining. This is why many people begin to feel reduced bloating and better stomach comfort during this stage. Another important development is improved bile activity. Olive oil stimulates bile production, which plays a key role in breaking down fats and supporting the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. As a result, the body becomes more efficient at extracting nutrients from food. Even if diet remains the same, nutrient absorption begins to improve, making meals more beneficial at a cellular level. By this point, the digestive system is no longer just processing food, it is becoming more balanced and optimized. The gut lining begins to calm down, especially in individuals who experience sensitivity or mild inflammation. This reduction in irritation can also have wider effects beyond digestion, including improved energy, stability, and immune response. Some research has also linked improved gut health from olive oil consumption to better mental and emotional balance. This is because the gut and brain are closely connected through what is often called the gut-brain axis. When gut inflammation decreases and bacterial balance improves, signals sent to the brain can also become more stable. Additionally, olive oil has been studied for its protective effects on the stomach lining. It may help reduce the impact of harmful bacteria associated with ulcers and support the healing environment of the digestive tract. Over time, this contributes to a more resilient digestive system that can handle food more efficiently and with less irritation. By the end of day 3, the digestive system is no longer in a reactive state. Instead, it begins functioning with improved balance, reduced inflammation, and better nutrient processing. This internal shift prepares the body for the next stage, where visible external changes begin to appear in the skin and overall physical appearance. By the 4th day, the effects of consistent extra virgin olive oil intake begin to move beyond internal systems and start showing up in a more visible way on the outside of the body. This is the stage where many people begin to notice subtle but meaningful changes in their skin, hair, and overall physical appearance. These changes are not sudden or dramatic, but they reflect deeper improvements happening at the cellular level. One of the first noticeable effects appears in the skin. As circulation improves and inflammation continues to decline, skin cells begin receiving nutrients more efficiently. The healthy fats in olive oil support the skin's natural lipid barrier, which is responsible for retaining moisture and protecting against environmental stress. When this barrier becomes stronger, the skin appears more hydrated, smoother, and less irritated. Vitamin E and polyphenols present in olive oil play a key role in this process. These compounds act as antioxidants, helping to protect skin cells from oxidative stress caused by pollution, sunlight, and internal metabolic activity. Over time, this protection can help reduce early signs of aging, such as dullness and dryness. The skin begins to look more balanced because the internal environment is becoming less inflamed and more stable. Another important component is oleic acid, a natural fat that closely resembles the oils already present in human skin. Because of this similarity, the body uses it efficiently to support skin, structure, and repair processes. This contributes to improved elasticity, meaning the skin feels slightly more flexible and resilient as hydration levels stabilize. Hair health also begins to reflect these internal improvements. With better nutrient circulation, hair follicles receive a more consistent supply of vitamins and fatty acids. This supports stronger hair strands and may reduce dryness or breakage over time. Many people begin to notice increased shine or a healthier appearance in their hair texture during this stage. Inflammatory skin conditions may also start to respond. Since olive oil works to reduce internal inflammation, conditions that are linked to immune response imbalances may show early signs of improvement. While results vary from person to person, the general trend is toward calmer and less reactive skin. What is important to understand here is that these changes are not caused by topical application, but by internal nourishment. The body is essentially rebuilding skin and hair health from within by improving circulation, reducing inflammation, and enhancing nutrient delivery. By the end of day 4, olive oil is no longer just influencing organs like the heart and gut. It is now actively shaping how the body appears externally. This marks a clear transition in the 7-day process, where internal healing begins to reflect outwardly, setting the stage for deeper neurological and metabolic effects in the next phase. By the 5th day, the effects of extra virgin olive oil begin to reach one of the most complex systems in the human body, the brain. This is the point where many of the earlier internal changes start connecting to cognitive function, mental clarity, and emotional balance. The healthy fats and antioxidant compounds in olive oil are able to cross the blood-brain barrier, which allows them to directly influence brain cells and neural activity. One of the key developments at this stage is a reduction in inflammation within the brain. Just like inflammation in the rest of the body, brain inflammation is linked to fatigue, poor focus, and long-term cognitive decline. As inflammatory markers decrease, the brain begins to function more efficiently. And many people report a noticeable improvement in mental clarity and focus. Research suggests that regular intake of extra virgin olive oil may also support memory function. This is partly due to its role in reducing the buildup of harmful protein deposits in the brain that are associated with age-related cognitive disorders. While olive oil is not a treatment or cure, its protective compounds appear to support healthier brain aging over time. Another important factor is improved communication between brain cells. Healthy fats are essential for maintaining the structure of neurons, and olive oil provides a stable source of these fats. As a result, signaling between nerve cells becomes more efficient, which can translate into better concentration and faster mental processing. During this stage, many individuals also begin to experience more stable moods. This is linked to both reduced inflammation and improved balance in brain chemistry. When the nervous system is under less stress, emotional regulation becomes smoother, and mental fatigue may decrease. Sleep quality can also begin to improve around this time. Since inflammation and stress levels are reduced, the body is more likely to enter deeper and more restorative sleep cycles. Better sleep then feeds back into improved brain function, creating a positive cycle of recovery and mental performance. As the 6th day approaches, the body begins shifting focus toward metabolic stability. Blood sugar regulation becomes more noticeable, and energy levels start to feel more balanced throughout the day. This marks the next stage of transformation, where olive oil begins influencing how the body processes fuel and maintains consistent energy output. By the end of this phase, it becomes clear that olive oil is not only supporting individual organs, but also improving how the entire system communicates and functions together, from the brain to metabolism and beyond. By the 6th day, the body begins to show more stable metabolic behavior, and one of the most noticeable changes appears in how energy is produced and maintained throughout the day. Instead of sudden spikes and crashes, energy levels start becoming more consistent. This shift is closely connected to improved insulin sensitivity, which allows the body to manage glucose more efficiently. Extra virgin olive oil helps slow down the absorption of carbohydrates when consumed with meals. This means that sugar enters the bloodstream at a more controlled rate, preventing sharp spikes in blood glucose. As a result, energy feels steadier, and the typical midday fatigue that many people experience begins to reduce. Another important development at this stage is improved appetite regulation. The healthy fats in olive oil stimulate hormones that signal fullness to the brain. This natural increase in satiety helps reduce overeating and unnecessary snacking. Over time, many individuals begin to notice that they feel satisfied with smaller portions without feeling deprived. Olive oil also appears to support better insulin signaling within the body. This means that cells become more responsive to insulin, allowing glucose to be used more effectively for energy rather than being stored excessively. This effect is particularly important for maintaining long-term metabolic health and reducing the risk of blood sugar imbalances. As the body moves deeper into day 6, there is also a noticeable improvement in mental and physical stamina. When blood sugar remains stable, the brain receives a more consistent energy supply, which supports focus and reduces mental fatigue. Physical energy also becomes more predictable, making daily activities feel less draining. At the same time, the liver begins to function more efficiently in processing fats and managing metabolic waste. While these changes are still subtle at this stage, they contribute to the overall sense of internal balance that builds throughout the 7-day process. By the time day 6 ends, the body's no longer reacting to olive oil as a simple dietary addition. Instead, it is adapting to a more stable internal environment where energy, appetite, and metabolism are becoming increasingly regulated. Now, as we enter the final stage, Day 7 brings together all the previous changes and focuses on deeper cellular protection and detoxification support, where the full spectrum of olive oil's biological effects becomes most visible at the system level.